Mayor Lyda Krewson has formed a task force to look into what caused the riot at the city's jail in downtown St. Louis. Several members declined our request for an on-camera interview, but the chairman of the task force told us one group he'd like to talk to is the courts. Our Christine Byers spoke with St. Louis's presiding judge about how the COVID backlog is affecting the jail population.
We've heard several reasons to explain why inmates at the St. Louis Justice Center revolted this past weekend. They broke windows, set fires, and threw furniture onto the sidewalk below. Among their complaints are that inmates are spending more time locked up, waiting on trials. In 2019, there were 85 jury trials for felonies in the city's 22nd Judicial Circuit. Last year, there were only 20 because those trials were stopped due to COVID concerns.
Some of them, as you pointed out earlier, had we not been in a COVID pandemic, would have probably already had their case resolved.
In all, Stelzer said 1,900 cases are backlogged on the city's docket. How is 1,900 cases in a backlog manageable?
We're used to that. We're a high jury trial circuit. We try a lot of cases. Our judges are used to that. It's just a question of getting jurors back in the building, and I think we can manage the number where it is right now.
The courts have about 240 people awaiting trial on ankle bracelets to keep them out of the city's jail.
That's a lot of people on GPS, and certainly one or more of them could be doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. And if that comes to our attention, then we can hold another hearing and modify the conditions of bond.
Despite the backlog in the courts, Stelzer says the population of the city's jail is historically lower than it has been.
Even just a few years ago, the jail population was over 1,300 in the city, and now it's under 800. And even pre-COVID, it was over 1,000, so now it's under 800. So the number of folks we're dealing with has come down.
He said of the jail's 800 or so detainees, about 200 of them are being held for the federal courts. Another 360 are being held, typically without bail, for A-level felonies. And another 100 are there for B-level felonies. The detainees on the 4th floor of the jail, where the riot broke out, are all federal prisoners. And COVID has delayed their docket too. Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
There are other options for those awaiting jury trials, including guilty pleas or bench trials. But the number of detainees taking advantage of those options is also down. To read more about the numbers and what Judge Stelzer had to say, you can read Christine's full report on ksdk.com.